What if Brazil's attacking future suddenly changes because of one injury? What if the absence of one player opens the door for the return of another superstar? Right now, a fascinating situation is developing inside the Brazilian national team, and fans everywhere are asking the same question. With Rodrygo ruled out due to injury, is Neymar Jr. about to return to the squad? And more importantly, is Neymar coming back as Rodrygo's replacement? There's a lot of curiosity surrounding this topic, and today we're going to break everything down step by step, because the story is not as simple as many people think. Behind the headlines, there is a deeper tactical plan, a different perspective from Carlo Ancelotti, and a careful strategy regarding Neymar's fitness before the World Cup. First, let's talk about Rodrygo's situation, because everything starts from there. Rodrygo's injury has become a major talking point, especially after the recent updates that confirmed the seriousness of his condition. Carlo Ancelotti himself has shown clear concern about Rodrygo's recovery. If you saw Ancelotti's recent message or post regarding Rodrygo, you probably noticed the tone immediately. The Brazilian coach publicly told Rodrygo to come back stronger and recover properly, and he even suggested that he is willing to wait as long as possible before announcing Brazil's official squad. That is a huge statement. It means Ancelotti values Rodrygo tremendously. In fact, he is ready to delay certain decisions just to give Rodrygo the maximum possible time to recover. This tells us one important thing. In Ancelotti's tactical plan, Rodrygo is not just another player. He is a key piece of the system. And that brings us to the next important point. An ACL injury, or a serious ligament problem, is not something that heals quickly. In many cases, recovery can take 6 months, 8 months, or sometimes even a full year depending on the severity of the damage and the rehabilitation process. Ancelotti understands that reality very well. That's why he's showing patience and support for Rodrygo. But interestingly, when we compare this approach with the way Ancelotti talks about Neymar, we see a slightly different attitude. With Neymar, the coach has been far more cautious and less emotionally invested in public statements. That difference in tone has made many fans wonder if Neymar is truly part of Ancelotti's immediate plans. However, before jumping to conclusions, it's important to understand the bigger strategy behind the scenes. Many rumors started circulating that Neymar could be called up for the upcoming matches against France and Croatia. Some fans quickly assumed that Neymar would simply replace Rodrygo in the squad. But according to several reports and internal discussions within the Brazilian camp, that assumption may not be entirely accurate. The coaching staff's primary objective is actually to protect Neymar and manage his workload carefully. Why? Because Neymar remains a crucial part of Brazil's long-term World Cup plan. The coaching staff believes that pushing Neymar too hard before the tournament could be extremely risky. Matches against heavyweights like France and Croatia are not ordinary games. They demand intense physical effort, tactical concentration, and a massive amount of pressure. Players have to run more, press harder, and deal with high-level opponents throughout the entire match. For someone who recently returned from injury and is still rebuilding full match fitness, that kind of environment can be dangerous. That is exactly why Carlo Ancelotti initially preferred to keep Neymar away from those high-pressure matches. The idea was simple: avoid unnecessary risk before the World Cup. Instead of rushing Neymar back into intense international competition, the coaching staff wanted him to focus on regaining form slowly and safely with his club. And that club, of course, is Santos. Right now, Neymar's performances with Santos are being closely monitored by the Brazilian national team staff. In fact, the coaching staff has already planned a detailed evaluation process. Before the upcoming international matches and before the Copa America preparations intensify, Neymar still has 2 important games to play with Santos. These matches are extremely significant, not just for the club, but also for the Brazilian national team's medical and technical teams. Carlo Ancelotti and his staff will carefully observe Neymar during these games. They will analyze his movement, his physical endurance, his match rhythm, and most importantly, his ability to play the full 90 minutes without discomfort. At the same time, Brazil's medical team will remain in constant communication with Santos' medical staff. They will discuss Neymar's condition, recovery progress, and any signs of fatigue or risk. Neymar himself will also play a role in this decision. If he feels strong, confident, and fully fit, he may personally signal that he is ready to return to international football. If all these elements align, the club's medical approval, the national team's evaluation, and Neymar's own confidence, then we could very soon see Neymar wearing the Brazil shirt again. And that would be a huge moment for fans around the world. Now, let's return to the main question. Is Neymar really replacing Rodrygo? The simple answer is no, at least not directly. The truth is more tactical than that. Brazil currently needs a proper playmaker in the team, someone capable of controlling the attack, creating chances, and connecting the midfield with the forwards. Rodrygo had gradually started to fill that role under Ancelotti. His ability to drift inside, create space, and deliver decisive passes made him extremely valuable. In fact, under Ancelotti's system, Rodrygo produced fantastic numbers. 3 goals and 2 assists in a short period. His influence was growing rapidly. But with Rodrygo now unavailable due to injury, Brazil suddenly faces a tactical gap. The team needs someone who can operate as the creative engine of the attack, the classic number 10 role. And when you think about Brazil's number 10 position, one name immediately comes to mind: Neymar Jr. For years, Neymar has been the heartbeat of Brazil's attack. His creativity, dribbling ability, vision, and leadership make him a unique player. Even when younger talents emerge, Neymar's influence remains unmatched. After Neymar, Rodrygo was seen as the next potential playmaker for the national team. But now that Rodrygo is temporarily out of the picture, the coaching staff is once again turning their attention back to Neymar. However, there's also another interesting factor here. Under Carlo Ancelotti, Neymar has not yet had the opportunity to play for Brazil. Neymar's last major appearances for the national team came during the 2022 World Cup cycle and shortly afterward in 2023. After the match against Uruguay, Neymar unfortunately suffered another serious injury, which kept him away from the national team for a long time. Since then, Brazil has been experimenting with different attacking structures. Now Neymar has a golden opportunity to prove that he still deserves a place in the squad. The next 2 matches with Santos could determine everything. If Neymar plays the full 90 minutes in both games, shows strong physical condition, and demonstrates his usual creativity, he will almost certainly catch Ancelotti's attention. In that case, the possibility of Neymar returning to the Brazilian squad becomes extremely high. And if that happens, the excitement around Brazil's World Cup dream will explode once again. Let's be honest, Neymar's presence changes everything. When Neymar plays for Brazil, the team carries a different level of confidence and flair. Fans feel more hopeful, the attack becomes more unpredictable, and opponents become more cautious. Of course, Neymar has also faced criticism from certain sections of the Brazilian media. Some analysts and commentators often question his fitness, consistency, or leadership. But interestingly, most Brazilian football legends have never spoken negatively about Neymar. Many former stars continue to support him strongly. They believe Neymar still has an important role to play, especially in a World Cup environment where experience and creativity can decide crucial matches. In fact, many legends openly say that imagining Brazil in a World Cup without Neymar feels strange. Whether people love him or criticize him, Neymar remains one of the most iconic Brazilian players of his generation. Before ending this discussion, there is one more important issue that deserves attention: Rodrygo's injury management. Some analysts believe that the responsibility for this situation may partly lie with Rodrygo himself and the medical management around him at Real Madrid. Reports suggest that this injury may have originated several years ago, possibly around 2023. Instead of addressing the problem early, the situation may have gradually worsened over time. Think about it this way. Even a small physical discomfort can affect our daily life. Imagine having a small piece of food stuck between your teeth. It feels irritating and uncomfortable until you remove it. Now imagine something much more serious, like a ligament problem inside your knee. That kind of issue cannot simply be ignored. If the damage was detected earlier and treated properly, perhaps the situation would not have escalated to this point. This is an important lesson for every professional athlete. Monitoring physical condition, taking injuries seriously, and following proper medical advice can make the difference between a short recovery and a career-threatening problem. Football careers are fragile, and even one wrong decision can change everything. For now, Rodrygo's situation remains uncertain, and fans can only hope for his full recovery. But while that story continues to unfold, another story is beginning: the potential return of Neymar. And if Neymar successfully proves his fitness in those upcoming Santos matches, we may soon see him back in the famous yellow shirt of Brazil. Imagine the excitement if Neymar returns to face strong teams like France and Croatia. Those matches would immediately reveal how effective he still is under Carlo Ancelotti's system. So the big question now is simple. Are we about to witness the comeback of the boss? Many fans believe we are. Neymar's journey back to the national team may be closer than ever. Now tell me your opinion. Are you excited to see Neymar return to the Brazil squad? Do you think he can still be the key player for Brazil's World Cup dream? And if Neymar does come back, how important will he be for the team's future? Let me know your thoughts, because the Neymar story might just be getting started again.